My name's Adele Onyango, and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Hey you, welcome to episode 284 of Legally Clueless, and this is what's coming up a little later in this episode.
The neighbors were really happy, like people were informing my parents that, I think I saw this girl on news yesterday, I think I saw her picture somewhere, but by then I was a hot cake.
Everyone wanted you.
Yeah, like there were offers coming in from all directions. First of all, Gulu is home. There is no place better than home. And the other things I liked about Gulu University in particular, not just Gulu, is their university is kind of not very chaotic like the other universities. You know, all the strikes and you have to pack, go and so on. This favorite spot became my favorite spot not very long ago, in 2021 when I first discovered it, when I was taken there for a date.
I'm really excited about this episode, but I'm trying not to give it away until I have to give it away. So yeah, good things are on the way. If you are new to the family, audio episodes like this go out every single Monday, Wednesday, and very soon Friday. And make sure you officially join our family by signing up for our newsletter on our website, which is legallycluelessafrica.com. While you're there, you can watch our video series and our tour series. If you're an OG member, I have nothing but love for you. As you know, this family has grown across 5 years, and I really value you. All right, before I get to the good news that I have, let's first start with what's coming up on Saturday. Our group therapy session, which is on the 24th of August. First and foremost, we only have 10 spots remaining. So if you have been waiting to grab your tickets, make sure you get them now because we only have 10 slots remaining. So all year long, we've been focused on healing our childhood trauma because I discovered the hard way. I was walking around with so much baggage that I had picked up from my childhood. And so that's why I thought it was very important for this year to have all our group therapy sessions breaking down different bits that make up childhood trauma. And so this session on Saturday will be focused on what we call daddy issues, aka father wounds. Has your relationship with your dad negatively impacted you? Maybe he wasn't present physically or emotionally. Maybe there was an element of abuse. Whatever the case is, the effects of this could be impacting a lot of your habits, how you see yourself, your esteem levels, the decisions you're making, a lot. So let's heal through this together. This group therapy session, like all of our sessions, is going to be led by our resident therapist, Faith, who personally helped me navigate a lot of my issues. In fact, I met her when she became one of my therapists, like one-on-one solo therapist. So I brought her on board to make sure our community is nice, healthy, and healing. So it's 24th of August, 10:30 a.m. No tickets are sold at the door, so you have to grab yours ASAP and before. 10 slots left. Check out the show notes. There is a link for you to grab your tickets. Second thing, which is super exciting, is our East Africa tour is live. Woo! For the next 13 weeks, you get to join us as we weave through Uganda, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. My goodness, Legally Clueless is back on the road, and it was such an expanding experience. I feel like I grew on a personal level as an African. My ambitions, everything expanded, and that I get to share that with you is truly magical, truth be told. And this time around for our East Africa tour, we teamed up with Mastercard Foundation and the Forum for Africa Women Educationalists. It's also known as FAWE. So what we came together to do is to bring you powerful stories from East Africa. We went to each country. We didn't only stick to the capital city. We went far and wide. And we got to meet these young Africans who are all graduates of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program. And this is a global initiative designed to develop the next generation of transformative leaders, which is something the entire globe needs, right? And how they do this is enabling highly talented, service-oriented young people to pursue higher education and cultivate their leadership potential. Let me tell you, there was something powerful about each of the young people who have graduated from this program that we met. Like, for example, at a particular university, I don't want to give it away too early. We have 13 weeks. At a particular university, some of the scholars were in first year and they were putting together money to help less fortunate students in the university and even in the village. Just think about where you are in first year. You know what I mean? And the community they have, I loved hanging out with them. And so Fawe is one of the many partners that's helping implement this scholars program, right? And they have been working in Africa for 30 years to promote education for girls and women. And on this tour, we meet some of the young people who went through this program, right? And we get to see how they've been able to unlock their potential. And we also got to explore the cities they live in. Some of them, we met their friends. We got to learn stories about these cities, go to museums, like eat the food. Let me tell you, our first stop was Uganda. Ugandan food hits different. I don't know what manure you people use, but keep using it because the food is just so sweet. And speaking of Uganda, our first stop was Gulu. Now, this was my first time in Uganda. We landed in Entebbe and then we drove to Kampala. It took maybe just under an hour to get to Kampala, and we had lunch while I also rushed to the nearest salon to fix my nail that I had broken at the airport, and then proceeded to Gulu. Now, everyone I met had different estimates of how long the drive from Kampala to Gulu would take us. Some said 5 hours, some said 6, some said 7. Now, along the way, of course, I had to try out Rolex. If you have no idea what this is, you need to go and watch the actual episode on YouTube. But because of all the Rolexes I blacked out. So I'm not too sure how long it took us to Gulu. But I remember when I woke up, we were pretty close and we were passing the source of the Nile. It was beautiful. The water just crashing over the stones, and we were just on the bridge over it. Oh my God. And there were elephants everywhere, and I love elephants. So beautiful. If you want to see exactly what I'm talking about, watch episode 1 of our tour series that went live on our YouTube. A link to it is in the show notes. But back to this episode. In Gulu, the first storyteller we met was Viola, a young Ugandan woman who's figured out how to use wastewater to generate electricity. She welcomed us into her home, and we got to know more about her story, as well as meet her little cute toddler. 100 African stories on Legally Clueless. Stories from Africa. Okay, so first, thank you for allowing us into your home and to hang out with your little friends here. Tell me a bit about Gulu. Like, did you grow up in Gulu, or like where exactly did you grow up?
I grew up in Gulu. I was born and raised here.
Okay.
I was born at Gulu Faro Hospital. My family dynamics is a bit not very straight. Okay. So to my mom, I'm a third born. To my dad, I think I'm 7 or 9. 7 or 9.
You know what, you could just say you are your father and mother's child. And so, did you go to primary school here?
Yeah, I went to primary school, a government school here in Gulu.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Peche division. It's not Peche La UP. No, Peche Laro division. Mm-hmm. It was a good school then. It was trending. Yeah. Much as it was a government school, there's a mentality of government schools not performing compared to private schools. I went there for all the 7 years, primary 1 to 7. And I was the best at the end.
Wow, in the whole school?
Yeah, back then it was really, really hard getting like very, very good performance coming from this side of the country. Yeah. The northern side. given the former insurgency, and people were just trying to recover. So that time I wrote and I was the best. And out of nowhere, the new vision, it's the government paper here, the government newspaper, or the government media house, I would say. They came looking for me.
Oh wow.
Like, I was this playful little girl. I was all covered in dust. Then they came up to home and they're like, "Who is Bridget?" And I came out like someone who had done something wrong. And I asked them immediately, what have they done? And they're like, "No, you didn't do anything wrong. Would like to take your picture for our newspaper." That's when they started telling me, "You've performed well, you are the best in Gulu, and would like to make the story to the newspaper." And my parents were already there. They had traveled for a burial in the village. My village is not in Gulu.
Oh, where is it?
It's an hour maybe, currently, given the boot road conditions. It's in a place called Amuro. It's a neighboring district to Gulu. This is the road.
So they went to Gulu and then I mean they were in the village.
They had gone for burial. So those guys came and took my pictures and then they left. And my dad was informed, then he came back immediately, but they were gone. So the following day, I saw my pictures everywhere on the vision paper. Then I was somewhere on TV, like it was really a big deal.
That's really amazing. And like, how were your friends reacting, or people in like your neighbors, etc.?
The neighbors were really, really happy. Like, people were informing my parents that I think I saw this girl on news yesterday. I think I saw her picture somewhere. Like a week or two after, we were given some gifts from the district.
Oh wow!
Leadership. We were given some few gifts, like things for starting school, mattress, basins for boarding school. Then the Vision group also offered me a scholarship. But by then I was a hot cake.
Everyone wanted you.
Like there were offers coming in from all directions. They offered me one to go to a single-sex girls' school. Somewhere in Lira, but I turned it down.
You had options.
I had options, and I wanted the best. So all the multiple offers came in. Then there was this one particular family friend who took interest. Was like, this is something that shouldn't be kept low here and wasted. We should take her to a place she deserves, so it can bring out the best. So we drove all the way from Gulu to Kampala, then to Entebbe. Got for me an admission in one of the best schools then.
Oh my goodness!
Like best in Uganda.
And so that was was it going to be paid? He was going to pay the school fees?
He was really in for it. Cannot just let it stay down here. So he agreed with my parents that he would take part of it, and they would have to come in at some point.
So then now you moved to that school. That school is where? Is it in Kampala or Entebbe?
It's just along the road going to Entebbe. Much nearer to Entebbe. I get into high school. I'm this little girl all the way from Gulu, because back then there was how should I say? There was this mentality that the northern part is really, really doing so bad, like after the war, that if you come to it, you can barely see development. Like the people are starving. The people are just disturbed and tormented. So when I joined that school, first of all, being the best in Uganda, you can imagine the kind of people who would attend, like children of well-off people, ministers, and so on. And the first time I was dropped there, I think I really cried. I felt like it wasn't my place to be. I felt out of place. Then slowly I kind of became used. I was calling my parents a lot that I don't think I should be here. I think this place is not for me. And they kept telling me, see all those people, of course they are better than you in one way. They have gone to better primary schools. Their parents have the kind of money that we don't have. But the best you can do is just show them who you are.
Because you've got there.
Because you've come from far. Don't let them intimidate you in any way. So then that's when I took the courage. I remember we were in Form 1, in Senior 1, and there were 700 students.
Wow.
just in senior one. And the whole thing progresses like they keep on trying to do away with people who could not perform.
Oh my goodness.
Such that by the time you're sitting the national examination, that is by senior 4, there is some number that is not so big or so hard to manage. And they have the cream, like they would say, those who can perform and keep the school's name high.
Yeah.
So out of these 700 people, I turned out to be number 3. So I was like, okay. This
Number 3.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, okay, so I can actually survive here really well. Remember, they would organize assemblies just to recognize those high-performing students.
Yeah.
And then they called me now. That was a really big school. There was all level, 700 senior 1s, around 600 senior 2s, up to senior 4. Then there was A level for around 1,200 students, all seated together in one arena. Then
they call you up.
Yeah. They call you, then you walk down and people are sort of clapping for you.
Yeah.
And you go and shake hands with the school's directors and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good thing. So for a moment, I felt like I was not out of place. I was doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and you belong.
Yeah.
And you belong. So the family friend pays for how many years for high school?
For 4 years.
Okay.
That was for the ordinary level. He wasn't really paying fully. He was paying half of the tuition.
Okay.
And my parents were contributing the remaining half. For advanced level, I joined another school. But this time around, my dad was sick for a year. Like, he was very sick and not working. And it was just my mom. But she didn't back down.
Yeah.
She took up and paid that 1 year. Then in the second year, I suggested, because I saw it was hard. Our last borns are twins.
Yeah.
And they were both joining secondary.
Yeah.
In that same year. And I told my mom that it's okay, I can survive in any school.
Oh,
she
wow.
can just take me anywhere, much more affordable, and have the twins also.
Yeah.
So it's not so much a burden on her. That's when I changed.
That's so selfless of you. Did you, like, what were the feelings you were feeling at that time?
It was a mixed feeling, because much as I wanted to be in the other school, and changing was something I would say sensitive given the stage I was in. It's just 2 years of advanced level, and changing means either you may get another school that is behind the curriculum, or maybe could have covered. And that was exactly what I met. The school I went to, the things were upside down. They had done what I had never done. But part of the things, there were things that they never paid attention to. Like in mathematics, they were not doing mechanics. I'd done a lot of mechanics all my life, and they were focusing more on probability and statistics. And I was like, will I really manage here?
Yeah.
I was worried for the first month, but I made up my mind to quit classes.
Yeah.
Just on my own. I would read on my own outside.
and so you read by yourself for 2 years.
For 1 year.
For 1 year. So now when the exams come, what happened?
So I was scared. I was very scared because I had not attended the classes. I would only go like for practicals, but theoretical classes I chose to read on my own. So it was just months to the national exams, the ones we do to take you to campus. And I told myself that if it doesn't go well, I'll try again another year. But turned out the school wasn't very much based in science. They preferred more of the arts. And they paid less attention, like they made less investment on the science part. They would bring those highly qualified teachers for the arts side, but not for sciences. So when I saw my results, we did the exams, saw my results, I was still among the best. Yeah, and it was kind of shocking because when they were admitting me, they were also worried that this girl may not make it.
And the second school is where? Is it in?
It's still in Kampala.
Still in Kampala.
Yeah.
So you finish your high school.
Finished my high school. Then I came back for vacation. Close to a year holiday. So in between that period, I remember by the 4th month, I had filled in some government scholarship, kind of. So in the government scholarship, you put in the choices, all the courses you would like to do at university. And if they're okay with your performance, they will take you in for a full scholarship. So I remember my dad told me that if you don't go through with that, I think this is where yours ends. Yeah. And the whole time I was stressed, and I was like, no, I shouldn't be stressed. Maybe I can look out for things to do and keep busy even if the list doesn't come out with my name. Yeah, the list came back. I was there. Like, some things are just kind of obvious to me that I'll be there. But my worry was, what will I be given? Will it be something good enough? Or something I like, or just any random thing that... Unfortunately, it was something. It was still in engineering, but I felt it wasn't very relevant for our level of development.
Yeah.
Something to do with textile. Like, there are real problems to be solved. Like, textile is the list of Uganda's problems. So when that came out, and my dad was like, "Yeah, you'll have to go for that. There's no other option." They told me, "You see all these kids behind you, they also have to get a chance," which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
But my mom said, "No, you have to go for something better." So then she started trying to figure out, asking people here and there possible scholarships she could join. And then one time, there's this auntie of mine, like a cousin to my dad, who called and was like, there's this organization that has just announced of a new scholarship scheme that I think your girl could benefit from. And then she sent some link. So from that link, I went ahead and applied for the scholarship. So when I applied, they told me that they would have to wait, because the condition was you have to be admitted for the particular course for you to go through. Like, there were other conditions considered, but given they were looking for young, talented, but economically challenged kind of youth who have tried to emerge out of their difficult situations, and they had gone deep to my village in the other district, Amuro. And in that district, if I'm not mistaken, they're accountable secondary schools. And given they're accountable, they are not like performing or doing the best. The students who end up sitting from there normally just end their journey there, or the ones who try may go for some short courses around, unless you're exceptional, like you. Study there is real breaking rocks to emerge.
Yeah.
So they wanted somebody who studied there, and I didn't study there. So that would disapprove me from the point that I'm like financially challenged.
Yeah. Even though you do need their help, but then
but still I gave them my honest story. I was like, my parents can raise resources to pay me, but there's a lineup of children behind me, not only from my dad, but his brothers who passed on. They took on the responsibility. So in the whole family alone, there were close to 15 children.
Kids, yeah.
Under my dad's care. And it's not like he made a lot of money. He's a regular guy, he's a teacher.
So when you told them the story, did they take you on?
It was a hard discussion. It was hard for them to agree. But they could barely find people who qualified from the district. So that was my winning point.
Yes. Being a very strong student paid off.
It's called FAWE Uganda. By then, FAWE Uganda is Forum for African Women Educationalists. They say it's for the whole of Africa, but that was just the Ugandan chapter. So they had got this funding from Mastercard Foundation, and they had target districts in the more remote locations of Uganda. We're working in northern Uganda and some parts of eastern Uganda and Karamoja. So all these regions are somehow disadvantaged in some way. So I had applied to Gulu University, had applied to Busitema, had applied to Makerere. From Makerere and Busitema, and Gulu University, they gave me more or less the same course. Gulu University gave me biosystems engineering. Makerere gave me agriculture engineering. Biosystems engineering is more like an improved version of agriculture engineering with some added bits. Then Busitema gave me irrigation and water resource management. I had to make a choice, and I had to be considerate of many things, given you're going to a university. It's not like a secondary boarding school where somebody looks after you, takes care of you. university, you're on your own. You're going to be in a hostel. You must grow up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've been all these years away from home. Why don't I study home? Besides, this is a better option compared to all the other options.
Yeah.
That's when I chose to study at Gulu University.
So you pick Gulu University.
Yes.
And when you come to Gulu, obviously things have definitely changed a bit. What are some of the things you find that you like in Gulu?
First of all, Gulu is home. There is no place better than home. And the other things I liked about Gulu University in particular, not just Gulu, is the university is kind of not very chaotic like the other universities. You know, all the strikes and you have to pack, go, and so on. Then I also had a bias about going to Makerere. Like everything sort of has to be a struggle given the big number. Sometimes if you miss out on something, you would have to struggle your way out. Yet when I came to Gulu, I remember my class had only 13 students. So things were not like for struggling. You go for practicals and you get to use an equipment of your own. You get full attention from the lecturers because of the small number. So making friends was very easy, and given that I'm familiar with the location, I made many friends because those who were coming from other very new locations, who are very new to Gulu, would find it hard adjusting. So I was like their guide around, and I made a lot of friends for that.
You have a favorite spot in Gulu?
Yes.
What spot is that, and why is it your favorite?
This favorite spot became my favorite spot not very long ago. In 2021, when I first discovered it, when I was taken there for a date.
Well, if it's your favorite, it means the date went well.
Yes. So actually, the reason for it being my favorite is it's a nice place. You will agree with me when you get to it.
And then you can tell me more about this date. I really enjoyed hanging out with Viola at her house and just getting to know her better. And now it was time for us to get to know Gulu better with Viola. We went to the very restaurant her and her hubby had their first date at. So Viola, you brought us to your favorite spot in Gulu. That honestly, it looks like a little oasis. When we were coming down the road, I was like, where is she taking me? Then all of a sudden, there's like the sign, and it's just like this beautiful place called Light Ray. So how did you find this coffee house?
So I came to know about this place when I was first brought here on a date.
This is a man who knows what he's doing.
Yes. So it was in 2021, still during the lockdown period, but when lockdown was a little bit eased.
Did the date end well? Like, are you two still together?
Yes.
Okay. That's wonderful. So how often do you come here?
2 to 3 times in a week. Of late, I've been coming to do my writing. It's a quiet place, conducive, less disturbance. From home, it's just so much confusion with the baby around. You can't even type one thing. Yeah. In Gulu, I actually like inviting friends, mostly home. I love to cook.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You didn't cook for me.
No, I did not.
Next time.
Yeah. But normally I invite friends and we cook.
Yeah.
And the other place I told you about, it's one place I normally go with friends.
Okay. Which place?
It's called The Lookout.
Oh, The Lookout.
It's another quiet, open place where you can it's not having a lot of seats like this one.
Yeah.
You can just get to sit on the grass like a picnic spot and
wow.
Chat with friends.
Yeah. So when we last left your story, you were about to join Gulu University. You'd gotten this scholarship from Fawe, Uganda. Yeah. How was it when you joined Gulu University? What was your experience?
When I joined Gulu University, first of all, I was happy that I was going to be home, very near home. And secondly, I had an advantage that I was already familiar with the Gulu settings. It wasn't a lot of adjusting to do. maybe the adjusting was more on the campus side. You're on your own. No one will tell you to do this and that and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And joining Gulu University, the course I was admitted to, when the admission list first came out, there were a bunch of ladies, and turned out none of them turned up apart from myself.
What?
So in the first week, I kept on hoping that someone has to turn up. How am I going to manage?
Yeah.
Living in this environment, you know how you want to do a lot of girls things, and you cannot do it with the guys.
Exactly.
And for the most times, they would be like kind of teasing you, and sometimes you get pissed over it. 1 month passed and there was no lady. I was like, this is it.
Yeah. But what was the reason? Do you know why they didn't turn up?
It could have been financial related. The course is among the most expensive at Gulu University. The other reason it could have also been it was a new course, not very new, but also not very well advertised. So somebody could have been admitted, but not very sure of what it is.
Yeah,
and didn't want to do it. And then the other reason is girls and engineering are like parallel.
Yeah,
it's always rare to find a big number.
So while you were going through uni for your undergrad, like, did any girls join as time went by, or you just had to like tough it out?
There was no girl in my lot.
Yeah.
There were other lots ahead of me where you would find one girl. Some also didn't have completely. So it was kind of normal.
Yeah. You adjusted.
Yeah. I think I adjusted quite fast. And it actually became a nice experience, studying with the boys and getting to live a lot of the girl habits and learning new things from the boys. You know how girls love to hold grudges for a long time. Then I learned that boys do it the other way. Like it's a grudge now, and then the next minute they're laughing and yeah, like it's a normal thing. Yeah. And there was nothing like going behind somebody's back talking about something. Yeah. You would say something there and then, and if someone is pissed with it, they would have to show their anger and get over it and
it's done
you the next minute.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah, it was a good thing.
Yeah.
But also the other good thing about it, I told you Gulu University had a small population back then, and the course had 13 students in my lot or in my class. But also the other thing, I think I got special attention being the only girl around.
It's always good.
Like I would be missing and everyone is asking what's wrong.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Like you would get the real attention. There are some very tough lecturers who would not care about anyone. Like you're missing. Why have you missed today? Why have you missed my test? And it was actually nice that they would get to call you and they want to get down to what is the problem.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Can we set a date for another test for you? Something like that. Yeah.
So you go through it for 4 years?
For 4 years. After finishing undergraduate.
Yeah.
After finishing, actually before I finished undergraduate, I had gone for an internship during my 3rd year. It was a requirement for you to, like a course requirement. Yeah. And it was graded. But while at that place, they just asked me to continue working with them. So by the time I completed my 4th year, I was on and off with them. Then I just went back for full time before graduation. But some other opportunity came along much nicer than the one I had. So I applied, did interviews, and I was taken up. Yeah.
Still here in Gulu, or now you had to travel?
That one involved a lot of traveling. Yeah. Between Gulu, neighboring districts, Arua, Kampala, a lot. Just very, 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 very near locations to Gulu, the neighboring districts. Yeah. Yeah.
And so then when do you clear? What year do you clear campus for your undergrad?
Not very long ago, 2022.
2022. Yeah. Okay. So you were working afterwards. When do you decide that you want to go back and do your master's?
Midway, when I had joined the other organization. Yeah. I had worked with them for 3 months, and my research supervisor from undergraduate asked me if I could do a small presentation for some people coming from Ministry of Science Technology. And I was like, cool. So I presented and they really liked what I had done at undergraduate.
Yeah.
It was a requirement that you do a final year project. And given it was an engineering course, they needed something tangible.
Yeah.
So I made a microbial fuel cell. It's like
yes, please.
it's like a battery powered by wastewater.
What?
For lighting.
Okay, wait. A battery powered by wastewater.
Okay, you know how you have a dry cell?
Yeah.
A dry cell has chemicals that bring out the power.
Yeah.
The other one, the chemicals instead are the wastewaters that you feed in.
Wow.
And they generate some power.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like really, that's really innovative.
Yeah. So at undergraduate, I had basically done a proof of concept.
Yeah.
It was working. We generated some fuel voltages.
Yeah.
And when I presented, and then these guys from the ministry just liked it, and they decided to fund me further.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations. Maybe it goes back to something you said earlier, where when you were thinking of going to uni for textiles, you said Uganda has better
problems.
Yeah, than that. So is that what
textile.
inspires your innovation? Like, are you trying to take what you've learned to impact Uganda in some way?
True.
So that's what inspired it?
Yes. And the reason why they gave it, you know, Uganda is struggling a lot with waste management, mostly in the urban centers. Can say, like here in Gulu, only 20% are connected to the main sewer line that goes to the national treatment facility.
Yeah.
Meaning most of the people are trying to find other ways of disposing of the waste.
Yeah.
Others have put up septic tanks, but not everyone has the capacity to build a septic tank. So you may find they're disposing of in the most unsustainable way possible. Like sort of just digging a simple socket, disposing it off, or just allowing it to freely flow out, which is a danger to the society for the bad smell, for contaminating the water quality, and for the diseases that can be got from such.
Yeah. That is really powerful. Like, if you think about your story and like what you're innovating now, that's going to impact even more than Gulu, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we met your son, who's just absolutely adorable. When did you transition to motherhood?
I transitioned in August of 2022.
How?
I think a lot of things happened between 2021 and 2022.
You graduated.
I graduated, had been enrolled back in school.
Yeah. And how has that journey been? What are some of the highlights of motherhood for you?
I have to be honest, I've not been so much with the boy.
Yeah.
Because when I had him in August, I was supposed to start my master's by then, right away. So I had to give myself a small break.
Yeah.
And then I started a little bit late in October, almost after 2 months with him. So for the most time, I've been just evening time, weekends.
Yeah.
It was until of late that we have had to have some quality time.
Yeah, to bond.
Yes.
And like, how do you think motherhood has changed anything about you?
So much. So much. I think for 90% of what I think, like anything beneficial should first go to him before to me. Even when I go shopping, I be like, he should first get whatever I'm to get for myself first. Yeah. I would say it made me grow up pretty fast, because now you are responsible for this other person that without you is helpless. So even when you make decisions, even your circle of friendship has to change. People of similar interest. I can no longer keep friendship with people who are free, who do not have something tying them to maybe their homes and so on. People who can go out on a Friday and return on Monday. Yeah.
You can't.
or on a Sunday evening. Because there's always something calling me back.
When you look at your journey and even like Jay's journey going forward, your little son. What are some opportunities maybe that you experienced or some that you didn't that you hope he gets to experience in his life?
First of all, I don't know if I should share this, but I have a very strange thing about parenting. I don't want to do it like our parents did or try to copy from how people are doing it. Like, I have a whole different opinion about, you know, how you get to meet so many people, like our setup at home.
Yeah.
We are living in a rented facility.
Yeah.
You get to have your kid interacting with so many people and calling everyone auntie and uncle. I have an opinion on that, first of all. Not everyone is auntie and uncle.
True.
I think only the people who are the aunties and the uncles deserve to be called. So many people don't agree with me, but that is it. Yeah. Like, if you're Adele, I'll introduce you to him as Adele.
Exactly.
I'm bringing this up because people say it different. People think it's respectful to call older people in some way. The respect can still be maintained, but the right introduction, I think, is very important. Yeah. For even confidence. Yeah.
And even safety.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The most importantly, the safety is why I consider doing that. And then also, I don't want to raise him like under so much fear. By fear, I mean we all believe in something. We are all religious beings. But I don't like putting so much of the belief in such a way that you instead create fear instead of having somebody explore life and live freely. Like, kind of saying that if I don't do something that is dictated by my religion or something, then I'm deviating and it's wrong. And I don't know if you get my point.
I think
I'm
makes
trying
sense.
to avoid giving an example.
No, but it's like just be a good person for good person's sake. Like, you shouldn't have fear as a motivation. Yes. Which I think is powerful for you to kind of like craft your own parenting style. Yeah.
That's what but it's still a little bit challenging given our setup. Yeah. But hopefully when we move to our own location, it will be much easier to execute.
Yeah. The plan.
Yes.
In terms of education, like, do you want him to also have someone like your mom in his life?
Yes.
You know how your mom like cheered and was like, no, don't go the textile route. There's more this girl can do.
More than that, I want to be behind him more than that. Like, to guide him and help him make better decisions. You know, some of us, like, I don't know how I can bring this in the best way possible, but both of my parents are teachers. Their level of exposure stops somewhere. They don't see the world beyond certain things. And there are these parents who have hustled their ways in life, and they have known, like, they give better guidance compared to somebody who has been on one line, past principles, wake up, live life like this, don't do this, don't do that, rules. So I would like to be that parent to him who can guide him even in the smallest of decisions, such that like anything you do, like he's doing right now, is of relevance to him in the near future. Whether it being taking up a small short course, like learning some other creative thing other than the straight line of go to school every day, learn. I just wish I could do that easily.
And I think that's where most of us want to like change parenting, and even like in terms of schooling and education, how does education meet the individual child instead of everybody study this and children are
wake
different.
Up, do this and do that. And also, like, from my own example, I told you my parents are straight line people. Come back from school, stay at home. You're not supposed to know money. You know that thing. Why are you doing a business and so on? I just want it different for him. If possible, he should learn money-making skills, but very much regulated. Like, this is how far you can go. And
I feel like in closing, I want to know the work that you're doing, and now you got sponsored by the ministry to go do your master's because of this innovation you're doing with wastewater. What is your hope for Uganda? Like, how do you, as Viola, want to impact Uganda?
They say change starts with you. and the smallest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say my impact may reach the whole of Uganda, but if I've reached a few people around me, I'll believe I've done something. So given the career path I've chosen to go with the energy efficiency and renewable energy and so on, I first of all believe that having energy, like more efficient energy available for the locals, will change life so much for them in very many ways. I don't know if it's a common thing in Kenya, but here in Uganda there are still households that are using paraffin lamps, not even the improved lamps, but these ones that are made of small metallic tins and with a wick and simple light and smoking and all that. Yeah. And yet if they had even the smallest or the simplest form of energy, their life would be better. Kids could read better, and the energy doesn't have to come from far. It could be right within them. So with what I worked on, I hope and believe that one day it will be of help. It's a portable technology. It's a fuel cell that you feed in your own wastewater that you generate every day, and you have light for your home. You don't need to put so much effort in getting the light. Your work is simply to feed it. That's my hope. Yeah. And my aim was to just simply demonstrate lighting a bulb, and we were able to achieve that. Finally tested with a 3 watts bulb for home lighting, and it worked out well.
Congratulations.
So hopefully if I get additional funding, or if some other people decide to develop it further, then it will be something on market soon.
So in Gulu, you'll find the Acholi, who speak pretty much the same language as my tribal language, Luo, because the Luo are descended from migrants who moved into Western Kenya from Uganda. This was happening between the 15th and 20th centuries, and it happened in about 4 waves. So that means we are very closely related to Luo people found in Uganda, especially the Acholi and the Padola people. So of course I had to check if Viola could understand my Luo. Is Luo spoken here in Gulu?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Do you speak Luo?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I
just try? Yes.
Itienini. How are you?
Oh, okay. So we say Idinadi, and then I'll say bear. Is it the same? Achio maber. Are you saying how did you wake up?
No. How are you?
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
What is your name? Nyinga.
Nyinga Adele.
Nyinga Dodge.
What? Okay. All right, I'll ask you. Wadi Kanye.
Sorry?
Wadi Kanye.
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Wabitiaro kwene.
So it's the same, but like there's
there's
difference. Yeah. Oh,
there's a small twist, but if you find an original actually speaker, they speak very close to you. Mine is a little bit diluted.
Tell me how you say hello again.
Hello?
Yeah. Itienini. But the answer is still bear.
Atiemabe or Atiemaraj.
Maraj, bad.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. What's another sentence?
Give me some drinking water.
Okay. Miapi. Oh my goodness. This is out of the... Okay, another sentence.
Chamo is eating.
Chamo, yeah.
Yeah, chamo is eating.
Abro chamo. Well, I don't know food, but like specific things. So like fish. What do you call fish?
Rich.
Same. Abro chamo rich. Catch more African stories in the next episode of Legally Clueless. What an absolutely great start to our tour. I'm so excited that we're sharing this with you, and I would really love to hear your thoughts. What part of Viola's story did you connect with? Was it her educational journey? Was it her thoughts on motherhood and parenting? Was it her innovation? Was it the thing she said about Gulu? Actually, have you been to Gulu before? Drop your thoughts in the comment section wherever you're listening to this on. And if you want to see Viola, Gulu, and all the places she took us to, head over to our YouTube channel right away. There's a link in the show notes. I'd also love to thank Mastercard Foundation and Fawe for partnering with us on our biggest tour yet across East Africa. This is so exciting. And speaking of East Africa, if you are in the greater East African region, you can catch us on Trace FM every Monday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. and 11 p.m. and on Fridays at 1 p.m. If you want to share your story on this podcast, all you have to do is fill out our storyteller form and one of our correspondents will get back to you. Just click the link in the show notes. And lastly, if you enjoyed this episode, which I hope you did, drop us a comment on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Give us 5 stars because we're kind of worth it. And don't forget to share this episode with your people. That's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.